So let's talk a little bit about materials in ZBrush and maybe lightning, but we'll see. So materials I will explain. Now we are on the basic material. If we go to toy plastic material, for example, you will see our whole model will change. The thing is that we haven't have applied material now in any of our subtools. If we had, it would not change when we change the material for the scene. It's not for the scene, but it's the active material now. And when we change to active material, all subtools without assigned material will change. And now they are. So for example, this one, you see, it's looking pretty good. Obviously, yeah. So what I want to show you is the material window. Let's go to materials here in this area in the left, or from here if you have this, but you probably would have it. Even if you haven't made the videos in the beginning, you probably could go to preferences, config, load UI, and load the custom UI I have put in the resource folder. Resources. Sometimes pronunciation is a little bit difficult for me. So here we go. And we get all these materials here. So don't be intimidated by this. It's very simple. Those materials in the top are matcap materials. It says here matcap materials. And those are standard materials here in the bottom. So they are a little bit less. In your case, because I have some matcap materials downloaded from internet probably, but I'm not sure. Maybe I have. So mine are a little bit more than the standard materials, which doesn't matter. The thing is that what is the difference? Matcap materials have their lighting included in the material itself. So if we change the position of and the strength of the lightnings on the scene, and we have a matcap material, for example, let's get this gold material here, gold, and now our night is gold, which is very cool. But when we change the lighting from here, you will notice that nothing will change, and also if we change the intensity, nothing changes. So that's why we don't particularly use this kind of materials. Maybe for show off sometimes, but not too much. So let's dial down the intensity. Now I press the standard material. That's why the lights are changing. You can see when I'm changing the light here, and when I release it, the light is changing in the scene. So basically, let's click again here. We have the matcaps, which we don't use, but they are fun. We can make clay or some other interesting effects. I think this is also interesting. This too. But whatever. I'm using mostly the basic material, which is this one, the second one here. Sometimes I'm using the flat color. Flat color is very useful because you can see, I think, yeah, it doesn't affect, it's not affected by light. You can see only your polypaint. If you don't have the polypaint, for example, if I press shift and click on the brush here, on the subtools. So on the subtools you have those things here in the front, and then you have brush and eye. The brush is responsible for the materials and the polypaint. If I press shift and the brush, all the brushes disappear and we have our current color here. Everything is completely flat. So you notice that we are now, I'm getting all the brushes again, the brush icon, and we have this. So next thing, this is the flat material. We will go to the basic material, and now we have shading, and we can adjust our light. We can make it a bit brighter, and now it's kind of fine. So those are materials. We can go to the material window, which is here, material, and just press this to dock it, and we will have our material things. Those render and zip plugin are not concern of ours. the thing is we have to open the modifiers, and since now we are on the basic material or standard, no standard brush, basic material, we can change the ambient, diffuse, specular, and some other things, noise and stuff. We don't care about those things too much that are below the noise. All those things are not that used by me, for example. So ambient, if we increase it, you see it's better because we don't have that harsh shadow, which is cool because our character is cartoon. If we increase the diffuse, it's brighter. If we decrease the diffuse, it's a little bit. If we increase the specular, you see it's wet. And if we decrease the specular, it's more dry. And I think more dry will be better. So by default the specular is 12, but we will make it lower value. Some materials have S1, S2, S3, some even have S4. What is S? S is shader. Shader 1, shader 2. So when we go here, you'll notice that we have tri-shader material, quad shader material, and those are complex materials, but I will not get into too much details for those materials because this is a base learning of ZBrush. I'm basically showing you what is it. If you want to learn more, you can always do that in more advanced tutorials. So I think our material is kind of cool, except for one thing. I'll go to mixer here and just increase the outline. Just make a little bit of outline. It's always good to have. So you notice that we have now outline. Whatever we go with this, we have. If we get it down, we don't have, and now we have. And I think this outline will help to make our model a bit more interesting. Yeah, when we restart ZBrush, of course, since we haven't saved this material, it will be bad. It will be gone and we'll have to make it again. So we may save it, why not? So we go to the basic material, we click on it to get this window, and don't save it because it will save it as base material, and now our base material will be this material. Although after we restart ZBrush, since we haven't saved it in the folder of ZBrush, probably it will be okay. It will be the basic material again. So let's save it for now in our shader, not in ZBrush folder, in our folder, absolute ZBrush, basic material N. Okay, ZMT. Hopefully the dot is somewhere that I cannot see it, but let's save it. Okay, so we have saved this material. Now it's basic material Z, basic material ZMT something. Okay, this is our material. We can always load it from there and we can use it. Now I will show you the lighting. So the materials are this: modifiers and mixer. Sometimes you can use for outline, and outline color is this color here, cavity. If this color is kind of white, you see the outline is white, so you have to be careful. Yeah, let's make it black. Black is the best. Now I will show you the lights. It's very simple. The lights, we open the lights window. Where is it? Okay, it's here. So this is the light menu here. Layer, then light. Open the light window. I'm using mostly one light and sometimes this diagonal light here, which is the same here for rim light. Let's try that. So in order to switch it on, I have to click once to select it and once to switch it on. So 2 times to switch it on. And now we can move it since it's selected and we can see what's happening. But I want it to be a rim light, so I want it behind the ball. So I will click on it once and it will go behind. I know that because I know that. Then I will change the color of it. And then I will change the intensity. Maybe something very big. And now you see the rim light is starting to come off. And I can do this. And it's not bad. I mean, rim light, why not? It's cool. Let's go to reflection. Very cool. Basic material. And now we have this blue rim light, which looks kind of good. If we want it sharper, we can just make it go in a bit. Okay. If we want to go and change the other light, the main light, we can go to it, just click on it to select it, and now we can move it. And we can make this kind of thing. So, the other thing, light properties. For every light, you have these properties. For example, this light, which is a rim light, doesn't have shadow selected. So, when we rend, by pressing BPR button here, when we rend, the rim light won't make any shadows. The other light is making shadows, but the rim light doesn't. If we turn on the shadows for the rim light, we will have a bit of a problem because the rim light is far stronger than our main light. So probably it will make a lot of shadows, so our model will be shadowed. Let's see. I'm making render with Shift Q. And probably it will be dark on the model because, yeah, the rim light is very strong, so it's making the model much darker. But we can avoid everything of this nature when we are making our combined renders, which I will show you maybe in the next video. So for now, this is all you need to know about lightnings and materials. This is the base things. Since this is very simple model of ours, let's remove the shadow. We don't need a lot of things to do, a lot of different materials. For example, we can make a different material for the cape. Let's try that. Toy plastic for the cape is not good. Basic material, which is this basic material 1 for it's darker, this material. I don't know if it will be nice for the cape, but we can try it. Let's apply it to the cape. How to apply material? Let's talk about this. We are filling object when we are trying to fill it with some color, right? But if our brush, whatever brush we have, is M selected, not RGB, but M is for material. So when I fill now, our cape now is filled with this basic material 1. And when I go back to my basic material that we have made, everything else will change to that, but the cape will remain with this that we have applied to it. So now we can select the front part of this thing. We go to our basic material 1, M is selected, fill object, and then go back to our basic material. Now this thing is also selected with this or filled with this material, the basic material. And we can basically fill different parts of our model with different materials, completely normal thing. And that will be all for now, and we will see in the next video how we can start making probably kind of render in Photoshop, and we will be kind of done with the tutorial, which is pretty cool. And yeah, see you there then.